Are you sure you're taking care of your Shih Tzu the right way? I'm not asking this to make you worried. I've been raising dogs for more than 10 years, across many different breeds, and I honestly thought I knew it all. Yet I still ended up hurting my first Shih Tzu without realizing it, simply because of everyday habits. The kind of things that, if you asked most people, they would say, "What's wrong with that?" Until my dog started itching constantly, breathing with difficulty, becoming afraid of strangers, losing dental health, and always having watery eyes. That was when I understood something important. Raising a Shih Tzu is not the same as raising other dogs. So much damage comes from the small things we do every single day. Take eye cleaning, for example. Many people skip it because it seems like just a little discharge. But with Shih Tzus, with their big eyes and flat faces, dirt builds up faster than you think. If it's not cleaned regularly, bacteria grow, causing irritation, infections, and pain. Some dogs don't cry or whine. They simply keep rubbing their faces until the problem becomes serious. Then there's walking them with a collar. It looks neat and convenient, but every little pull puts pressure directly on their already sensitive throat. I've seen many Shih Tzus coughing after walks, with owners having no idea why. The reason is simple. Their neck has been strained over time, or feeding treats. Those big shiny eyes are the most dangerous weapon in the world. A small piece of meat, a crumb of bread, a bite of leftovers, slowly turns into extra weight. And when a Shih Tzu gains weight, their joints hurt, they get tired faster, and movement becomes difficult. Not to mention, many foods humans eat are actually toxic to dogs. Dental care is another thing most people never think about. Shih Tzus have crowded teeth in a small mouth, which makes plaque build up very quickly. By the time bad breath, swollen gums, or loose teeth appear, the damage is already serious. Some owners bathe their dogs every week because they want them to stay clean and fluffy. But doing this removes the natural oils that protect the skin, causing dryness, itching, and hair loss. Shih Tzus don't need frequent baths. What they really need is regular brushing. And speaking of hair, this is where many dogs suffer in silence. Matted fur isn't just ugly. It pulls on the skin constantly. Some dogs have tight mats under their arms, behind their ears, or on their belly that make walking painful. Moisture trapped there can also lead to infections and sores. Heat is another silent danger. Just a short walk under the midday sun can cause a Shih Tzu to overheat. Their short noses make it harder for them to cool down. Many emergencies happen simply because owners think it's just a quick walk. Then there's socialization. Some people keep their dogs at home too much because they're afraid of illness. The result is a dog that grows up fearful of strangers and other dogs, easily stressed and anxious. Shy Shih Tzus often live in constant tension without their owners realizing it. Finally, training methods. Yelling, hitting, or using harsh tools doesn't make a Shih Tzu behave better. It only makes them afraid of you. A scared dog doesn't learn faster. It just learns to avoid you. With patience and positive rewards, they improve much more quickly. What I want you to understand is not that you're a bad owner. It's that many people love their dogs using old habits instead of updated knowledge. And Shih Tzus are far more fragile than their cute appearance suggests. If you're raising a Shih Tzu, take a moment to look at your daily routine. Do you clean their eyes regularly? Are you using a collar or a harness? Do you give too many treats? When was the last time you brushed their teeth? Is their fur tangled anywhere? Leave a comment below and tell me. How long have you had your Shih Tzu? Have you made any of these mistakes before? Many people only realize after watching this that they've been doing the same things. Share your story. It might help another dog who's quietly suffering just like Bella once did. And if you want to truly understand Shih Tzus through real experience, not just feelings, follow this channel. Here, we don't raise dogs just to look cute. We raise them to be truly healthy and happy. There's a pattern I've seen repeat itself for many years in the Shih Tzu community. Most people only start paying attention when their dog already has obvious problems. The early stages when the body is quietly sending warning signs are usually ignored. In veterinary records, most chronic conditions in Shih Tzus don't appear suddenly. They begin with very small changes. Noisy breathing while sleeping, moving less than usual, constantly licking their paws, rubbing their face on the floor, or suddenly becoming afraid of loud sounds. These signs are often dismissed as just their personality, or normal for small dogs. But in reality, they're closely linked to respiratory health, skin issues, joint problems, or long-term stress. For example, many Shih Tzus snore loudly. Owners often find it cute. But veterinary data shows that loud, persistent snoring in flat-faced breeds is usually connected to partial airway blockage. That means every night, the dog has to work harder just to get enough oxygen. Over time, the heart and lungs are under more strain, leading to earlier fatigue and a higher risk of heart disease as they age. That's why maintaining a healthy weight and avoiding pressure on the neck are so important. Another very common issue is sensitive skin. Shih Tzus easily develop skin infections from moisture, mild allergies, or bacteria trapped in tangled fur. In real life, many serious skin problems start simply because the coat isn't brushed often enough, allowing sweat, water, and dirt to stay pressed against the skin. Owners usually just notice the scratching and buy ointments, but the real cause lies in daily grooming habits. When it comes to exercise, Shih Tzus don't need to run miles like larger dogs, but they still need regular movement to keep their muscles and joints strong. Data shows that small dogs who rarely move have a much higher risk of early joint degeneration. Many owners carry their Shih Tzu everywhere or keep them indoors all day because they're afraid of heat, dirt, or fatigue. The result is weak muscles, weight gain, and difficulty walking as the dog gets older. There's also something many people overlook: mental boredom. Shih Tzus are very social dogs. When left alone too long with little interaction, play, or stimulation, their brains stay in a low-level stress state. Behavioral research shows that stress in dogs can appear as constant paw licking, excessive barking, irregular eating, or sleeping too much. Many owners think their dog is just calm, when in reality, it's a sign of emotional exhaustion. I once met a Shih Tzu whose owner kept him very clean and fed him well, but almost never took him outside. He wasn't seriously sick, but he always looked tired and rarely wagged his tail. After just a few weeks of regular walks, meeting new people, and playing with new toys, his energy completely changed. It proved that health isn't only about the body, it's also about the mind. Another key point from veterinary data is that a Shih Tzu's lifespan depends far more on prevention than treatment. Dogs that receive regular dental care, maintain a healthy weight, get moderate exercise, and live with low stress often live several years longer than those who are only treated when illness becomes serious. Raising a Shih Tzu is really about learning to read small signals: a light cough, more scratching than usual, heavy breathing when it's slightly warm, avoiding strangers or new situations. All of these are messages from their body. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you truly love your dog. And real love isn't about buying the nicest things or feeding the most expensive food. It's about understanding and adjusting the small daily habits. I'm curious to hear from you. Has your Shih Tzu ever shown a behavior you thought was normal but now feels worth thinking about? Have you ever changed a habit and noticed your dog become much healthier? Share in the comments below. Your story might help someone else recognize a problem earlier for their own dog. And if you want to keep learning how to raise Shih Tzus using both real experience and science, don't forget to follow the channel. Every video here has one simple goal: to help dogs live healthier lives and help us become more knowledgeable owners. Before this video ends, I want you to hold on to one small but very important idea, not as a way to blame yourself, and not as a checklist of mistakes you must fix immediately. Keep it as a new way of looking at the Shih Tzu who lives with you every day. They can't tell you when their throat hurts. They can't explain when their eyes burn. They can't describe when their body feels tired from heat, extra weight, or stress. The only thing they can do is change their behavior, becoming quieter, slower, more withdrawn. And many times, we miss those signals. Years of raising dogs have taught me something simple. Most of a Shih Tzu's pain doesn't come from big accidents. It comes from the small habits repeated every day. But those same small habits, when changed, create the biggest improvements. You don't need to become a veterinarian. You just need to observe a little more, slow down a little, and understand that every action you take affects your dog's body. If after watching this video, you look at your Shih Tzu differently, with more care, more attention, and more understanding, then I've done my job. Before you go, tell me in the comments, what part of the video surprised you the most? Have you ever unknowingly made one of these mistakes? This community grows stronger every day through real stories like yours. And if you love Shih Tzus and want to keep them healthy not just today but for many years to come, follow the channel. Here, we learn to raise dogs with knowledge, not just emotion. See you in the next video where we continue uncovering the things few people talk about in the real lives of Shih Tzus.